All right, 3.1e. I'll just do a couple of these. So if we have 1 minus 1 over sine squared of x, what is that equal to? And we want to keep these in terms of sines and cosines again, if we can. So I want them in terms of sines and cosines. So how would I simplify this in terms of sines and cosines? Because some of you would say, looks simple enough to me. But we can't call this simplified enough because we have two separate things. And we want to combine them into one fraction. How do we combine this into one fraction? I need a common denominator. Sine squared of x over sine squared of x. So then my numerator of this fraction becomes sine squared of x minus 1. My denominator is sine squared of x. What's sine squared of x minus 1 equal to? Is it cosine squared of x or negative cosine squared of x? Negative cosine squared of x over sine squared of x. And that's what my final answer will be. Okay, so we'll be doing a few problems like that. Let's just say we have cosine squared of x minus sine squared of x over 1 minus 2 sine squared of x. Ooh, this be kind of ugly. So, how are we going to solve this? Well, in my numerator, since there's a bunch of signs here, I'm going to change cosine into sine somehow. How am I going to do that? Well, I have a Pythagorean identity, right? I know that sine squared of x plus cosine squared of x equals 1. How do I get cosine all alone? Subtract sine squared of x. So cosine squared of x should equal 1 minus sine squared of x. So cosine squared of x equals 1 minus sine squared of x. Minus sine squared of x over 1 minus 2 sine squared of x. What does my numerator become? One minus negative sine squared of x plus negative sine squared of x is negative 2 sine squared of x. So what am I left with? They're the exact same thing at top and bottom. So that simplifies to be 1. So you can take something that's fairly complicated and works to simplify down into 1. Okay? Now, I want to see how you guys do at this. So, there's 4 problems, 61, 64, 65, 67. 61, 64, 65, and 67. On page 165, it's the last assignment of this section. Okay? And so do those 4 problems, and then in 15 minutes or so, we'll go over the next little bit, which isn't going to be too bad. And then on Friday, we'll do foiling, which should be pretty easy because you've done foiling with this already. Okay? So for those of you going on Friday, your assignment is out on, what's that called? The lesson plan site, Plan Book.